It's time to start your day with the First Cup Morning Show.
Serving up a warm cup of good news, positivity, and uplifting messages.
And now, here's your host,
Our dad,
Joshua Kangley.
Hello, friends. Good morning to you, and welcome back to the First Cup Monday Morning Show, where we kick off the week with some good news and good vibes. I'm Joshua Kangley, and thank you for joining me this morning. I do have some good news to share with you, and we will get to that in just a bit. But first, let's start it off with a quote. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." Now, that quote isn't about wishful thinking. It's actually about courage, because believing in a dream means being willing to protect it when it's fragile, when no one else sees it yet, when the work is hard, and when the outcome is uncertain. Dreams don't shape the future simply because they're beautiful. They shape the future because someone decides they're worth believing in, worth sacrificing for, worth working toward, and worth carrying forward even when the progress feels slow. Every meaningful future we admire today began as a dream someone refused to abandon, a dream that required discipline, a dream that demanded faith. And the truth is, the future isn't something we wait for. It's something we build, choice by choice, step by step, guided by what we believe is possible. When we believe in the beauty of our dreams, we give ourselves permission to move forward with purpose. And in doing so, we quietly shape a better tomorrow. And now let's go to the Did You Know? Did you know that on this day, January 19, in 1955, the popular board game Scrabble hits the market? Now, Scrabble didn't become an overnight success. That's right, because although Scrabble officially entered the national board game market on January 19, 1955, the game itself was invented years earlier. You see, in 1938, an unemployed architect named Alfred Butts created the game during the Great Depression, originally calling it Lexico and later Criss-Crosswords. Butts carefully studied newspapers to calculate how often letters appeared in the English language, which is why common letters like E and A are worth fewer points, while rare letters like Q and Z carry higher value. And that balance is still used today. But for years, the game struggled to gain traction. Major game companies initially passed on it, believing it wouldn't sell. But everything changed in the early 1950s when entrepreneur James Brunett licensed the game, renamed it Scrabble, refined the rules, and began producing it himself. The big breakthrough reportedly came when a department store executive played the game on vacation, then returned home and placed a large order. Scrabble became a household name. And today, Scrabble is sold in over 120 countries, available in 30-plus languages, played by millions of people worldwide, and even inducted into the National Toy Hall of Fame. More than just a game, Scrabble became a symbol of patience, creativity, and perseverance, a reminder that even great ideas sometimes need time before the world is ready for them. And if you didn't know that, now you know. Today we pause to recognize Martin Luther King Jr. Day, a day set aside to remember the life, work, and legacy of one of the most influential figures in American history. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia. He became a Baptist minister and rose to national prominence during the civil rights movement of the 1950s and the 1960s, advocating for equal treatment under the law through nonviolent resistance. King believed deeply in the principles laid out in America's founding documents, that all people are created equal and entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. His leadership helped bring national attention to injustices that contradicted those ideals. He is perhaps best known for his I Have a Dream speech, delivered in 1963 at the March on Washington, where he spoke about a future in which people would be judged by their character rather than the color of their skin. That moment remains one of the most recognized speeches in American history. Dr. King's work played a significant role in the passage of landmark legislation, including the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, laws that sought to ensure equal rights under the Constitution. His message of peaceful change, personal responsibility, and moral courage continues to resonate. Martin Luther King Jr. Day became a federal holiday in 1986, giving Americans an opportunity each year to reflect on his legacy and the enduring idea that progress is achieved not through hatred or division, but through conviction, discipline, and faith in what is right. Today is not just about remembering a man. It's about remembering the principles he stood for and the responsibility each generation carries to live them out. And now it's time for some animal fun facts.
Today's animal is the peafowl. Did you know the males are called peacocks, the females are called peahens, and the babies are called peachicks?
Did you know peafowls can live up to 20 years in the wild?
All right, let's get to the good news of the week. Father and daughter first responders, both now firefighters at the same station. A small Pennsylvania fire department is celebrating a special moment as two generations of the same family now serve on the front lines together. Garden Spot Fire Rescue recently welcomed its newest junior firefighter, 14-year-old Briella Niedermeyer, marking a meaningful milestone not just for the department, but for her family as well. Briella now trains and responds alongside her father, Kirk Niedermeyer, a volunteer firefighter who has dedicated 25 years of service to protecting his community. What makes the moment even more remarkable is that the path wasn't planned. Kirk admits he never expected his daughter to take an interest in firefighting. But once Briella made the decision, her commitment became clear almost immediately. Growing up, Briella watched her father answer emergency calls at all hours of the day and night. Time spent around the firehouse and with family friends who also served gradually sparked her curiosity and eventually her desire to be part of the team herself. As a junior firefighter, Briella takes on hands-on responsibilities whenever permitted, supporting crews by managing hoses, assisting with hydrant connections, and helping gather essential equipment during calls. Her willingness to learn and work has quickly earned her respect within the department. Briella recently shared how much the experience has meant to her, describing the firehouse as a second home and expressing gratitude for the friendships, mentorship, and support she's received, especially from her parents. For Garden Spot Fire Rescue, the father-daughter pairing represents more than a unique headline. It's a reminder of how service, leadership, and community values are often passed down through example, and how the next generation is ready to step forward. You know, at just 14 years old, Briella is already learning something that many people don't discover until much later in life. That real fulfillment comes from responsibility, teamwork, and showing up for others. She's not chasing attention. She's pulling hoses, hooking up hydrants, and doing the work, quietly earning her place. And there's something deeply hopeful about that. Because in a world that often tells young people to look inward, this story shows the beauty of looking outward, of choosing service, discipline, and commitment. It also reminds us of the power of parents who lead by example. Kirk didn't have to tell his daughter who to be. He showed her. This is good news because it tells us the next generation is watching. And when they see courage and commitment lived out, some of them will choose to carry it forward. And when they do, the future looks a little brighter. And that is the good news of the week. I hope you enjoyed that. Some good news coming out of Pennsylvania. Big shout out to the Garden Spot Fire Rescue. Remember, for more positivity, good news, and uplifting messages, you can always go to guidinglights.org. That's www.guidinglights.org. That about wraps it up. But before we go, I'd like to leave you with a dad joke. What do you call a pig that does karate? A pork chop. Well, friends, that is going to wrap it up this week. I hope it brought some light into your life, a smile on your face, ready for the week. And I challenge you to be the reason someone smiles this week. Have a great week yourself. And remember, don't let the mainstream media fool you. There is always good news happening all the time.